In from April's Craft Room. Pretty exciting. Doing a collaboration with my YouTube pal. This is what she sent me. Get ready for it. Nice fast fat quarter. I think this is about a yard. Here's another yard. This beautiful bubbly fabric. Little seahorse fabric, about another yard. And this is like a yard and a half. Little seahorses. Aren't they cute? So beautiful. Really nice fabric. It's by 3 Wishes. And the pièce de résistance. Whatever, however you say it. The panel. It's beautiful. I was thinking we're going to do this panel collaboration thing, and I'm going to take the panel and I'm going to cut it up and it's going to be cool. And no, I can't cut this up. It's beautiful. It's too beautiful to cut up. So we're going to do something different with it, and hopefully it's going to be as beautiful as it is in my brain right now. But it really is beautiful. It's by 3 Wishes. Mystic Ocean. And I tried to get some more of this fabric. This reefy bit here. Every place, they're all sold out of it. Everybody is sold out from what I can see. So, yeah. This is my project. Be ready. Brace for impact. Fingers crossed. Of course, for you, it'll be instantaneous, but for me, it's going to be a minute. So here I am working on this quilt. Excuse the map of Maui up there, the little. And I am going to try to get, I'm working on my pixelation down here. I'm doing a bargello all the way around. And this is, I'm trying out. So this is the tryout, right? So what I'm doing is, this is 3 Wishes. And over here I have this little swimmer lady. Also a 3 Wishes fabric. I think this one's also called Call of the Sea. I think I've got a couple of these swimmer ladies. Oh, sorry. Don't get dizzy. And they're all kind of coming up to greet the sun, if you will. And this tells my story. I think it's going to be okay. My concern is getting to those dark colors of the orange up there. And the dark, I mean, because that's dark. Considerably darker. But I think it can work. So I need to pull some yellows from my stash and orange, paler orange, I think, to get there, just so that it transitions. We shall see. This is all in the planning stages down here. Hopefully it makes sense to you guys what I'm doing. And I'm hoping that it turns out. We don't know, but that's the whole point of trying out colors and trying out things before we make it permanent. So over here I've got some greens, you know, so kind of, you can see these waves coming off of her. Really don't want to cut it up, but the borders have to go for sure. They're a fun border. That yellow is fun, but it's got to go. So this is where we are at in this process. Tip. So, say you want this exactly here. You've lined this piece of fabric up, and you're gonna cover this, if I can get it open, this whole side with this piece. Now you've pinned it in place, but it's a real pain in the tuchus, and once you take the pins out, then it moves, right? Scotch tape. You just tape it in place, just like this, and it holds it. And that way you can open it up, pin it, sew it, and then remove the tape, and it's perfect. So I've sewn it together, and I flipped it over, and it is pretty well perfect. And then I could just iron that flat, and I can remove this tape without ta-da! And there's a tiny bit of like dust or whatever on it, but it comes off easy and it lines up great. And then I can trim this to line it all up. That little bit hung out before. See how it sticks out right there. But, and then I will undo this seam and tuck that in and sew that in. Okay, I'm working on this quilt, as you can see, and I want this hair from this sea lady to flow up, right? Flow up and out and go into the waves. So what I'm doing is I've cut these pieces like this, and I'm placing them because I want it to look like it's coming out. This quilt is telling a story. So now I've got to match up another piece here that comes from here up, but doesn't, you know, so it's kind of tricky, right? So when you're working on the angle and getting that in there and everything. So now we're going to go to the sewing machine. I'm going to show you how I match up, not necessarily from this exact point because I want it to kind of be jaggedy because it's getting thinner, right? the hair's coming out, the bulk of it's here, but then it's kind of getting thinner and more delicate, or it's flowing. That's the word, flow. Okay, so here we are at the machine. Now what I've done is I've taken this piece here and I have just lined it up where I want it. And then I was struggling with having it line, you know, come down straight. So what I did was I ironed the seam, basically seam allowance here, and then I lined it up on the piece that I'm attaching it to, and then I slid the pin in without moving either piece, so that when I sew it, it's going to be right there. And I know it's going to be perfect when I sew it, as long as I sew on that line. So you can see how it looks. It's right there. Little tiny overlap there. Little tiny overlap here. Okay, I've sewn it now. When I fold it back, it should be perfectly aligned when I turn it around. Look at that. That'll be trimmed off. But that's pretty spot on. So this side lines up. This side hangs over because it's a little bit wider. It is a little wider all the way down. So that'll be trimmed. And there we are, all together. Let's see how it fits. Here we are back at the board. And we line this up, and I want this to go way up here, like that. Oh, no I don't. I want it to come down. Just a smidge. There we go. Yeah, something like that I think is good. Yeah. Voila. Alright, here we are. We have the top. This wavy bit is sewn on. I just got done doing my design wall. You can see it, the purple peeking out. I got two 24-inch by, I think they're 72 long. See this sticking out a little bit. Yoga mats. And I have screwed them with washers onto the wall so that I can actually pin into it. And this is going to make, you know, life so much easier when you have a big heavy quilt on you're working on, and so this way it'll just stay up. So this is how far I've gotten on this collaboration. The waves are sewn in place, and now I'm carrying on to the top. As you can see, I have removed the top strip that I had on there, and now I'm liking the yellow better because it translates better into this yellow here, because this is a water scene, right? And we're seeing like a splice into the water, but then it goes, well, what is she looking at? Above the water, because there's the surface of the water there, right? I am not liking this strip of bubble fabric here. I may rip that out, and I want to do something different, and I'm going to show you my idea. Stand by. Okay, so I have just a tiny bit of this wave fabric left, which I don't even think I can get any more of. And I have a bit of this bubble fabric, which I do like very much. So my thought was, and I just tested it with another little strip, which I threw back into my scrap bag. Okay. So my idea was I could take the bubble fabric, and not much of it, and then cut little triangles of the wave fabric. Ooh, can you hear my stomach? I'm so sorry. And do something like this to where it's alternating. And I feel like that would translate better to I'm going to do it on the board, show you. Okay, so here we are back at the board. Can you see the difference, how it goes from this being very bubbly here, And then I've put the little triangles here. And it just does a little something. You know, oh, I totally missed that one. I'm doing this without my glasses on. If you're wondering about my design wall and how I'm able to get these pins to go in with ease, let me show you a good one here. So this is a long pin, and I can stick it right in there. Isn't that awesome? Whichever way, straight. This, what my design wall is, hopefully I can lift this, yeah. I've screwed two yoga mats, large, extra thick, they're 1/2 inch thick, into my wall. And that is my whole design wall. So now I can stick pins directly into my wall. So I use this picture kind of as reference, and you see how the tree line here indicates, you know, the horizon, right? And that it's very bright in the center, then it goes kind of dark with the clouds being light. That's kind of what I was going to go for, but I don't think it translates here. I think this is more of an undersea piece. I do think I want to remove these, and I will probably do it to where I'll have to flip it and have the bubbles on the bottom. Well, maybe not. I mean, it works. Yeah, I'm going to have the bubbles on the bottom. And I think it's going to look way better over here as well, because this little bit over here is kind of darker. Yeah, look at that. Doesn't that look better? So excuse me, all the pieces. You know, the only way we can really do is by trial and error, right? So I'm gonna take this line here out, and I'm gonna replace it. I think I might keep from here to here. I'll keep this solid, but I feel like all the rest should be kind of wavy. I think it just translates better. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do something. And it's just gonna be a little strip, you know. Oh my God, I'm choking. Okay. Foundation paper piece block that I'm using in this quilt as the sun. There's the thing. Then I just added to the corners there to make it a little bit wider. So, because this quilt tells a story, right? And we need something that pulls this yellow. So this is going to be yellow here. And I was hoping to make this more like a tree line. Hang on, I'll show you. Look in this picture, you see how there's a tree line here and how the sun hits it. Oops. So this is what kind of like what I'm going for. However, it's really difficult to get it to look like tree line, right? So I think it'd be better if it were mountains. So I'm changing it to be more mountainous. So I think it's pretty good. So here's where I'm going. I had to order more of the sky fabric. When I was at Missouri Star, I did not get enough. I only got half a yard, and I need considerably more. So I'm really liking that a lot with the blue. So when that fabric comes, I am going to change this bit over here and just add more of this green, because this side is so much darker. There's no light coming through here. So I think I need to have the green probably start here on this side and come all the way over and build up like a mountain, right? A mountainous shape, I think. It's kind of odd because the perspective is, you know, mostly underwater. Like if you took a camera lens and put it half in the water and half out. This is not necessarily an actual photograph that you would get because it's got so much of the you know, the reef all the way up, you know, so, but I think it's okay. I think it'll be, I think it's turning out okay. I think it's a cute project, a fun project. Hello, beautiful people. I hope you're all doing well today. So today I'm working on the back of the collaboration quilt with April from April's Craft Room. And I have, so she sent me this fabric and it's beautiful. And she sent me, I don't even know, it's like a yard or yard and a half. And it's really fantastic fabric, really nice feeling fabric. It's by, I'm going to get the name right, so I'm going to check real quick. It's called Mystic Ocean by Josephine Wall for 3 Wishes. And it is a directional fabric, right? So what do we do with this? So what I'm doing is I want the back to be as interesting in the front. I always heard that the back of a quilt should be as interesting in the front, whether you're using your quilting stitches or you're basically making 2 tops and sandwiching it. Well, I have to use all this fabric. That's part of the that's part of the challenge or whatever, right? Is that I use the fabric that she sent me. So I have this. I've got some green, which is non-directional. Well, actually, the bubble fabric is. Let me grab that and show you. Because actually, all the fabric she sent me is directional. Yes, it is. Okay, so here we go. So this is what she sent me. This, like, watery fabric, which goes horizontally, right? And then the bubble fabric, which you could see the bubbles go up, and there's the same kind of thing going on in the background, which is kind of a little sideways. But the bubbles are the main, you know, what your eye goes to is the bubbles. I tried it like that on the quilt, and because this water in the background is horizontal, it just throw the whole thing off. So I have all these directional fabrics, and what do I do with them? So this is what I'm going to do. I purchased another Josephine Wall. This is a swimmy lady. So just to kind of mix it up a little bit, as you know, because you've already seen the top. So what I'm going to do is, this is a piece, directional. This was the border around the panel. So I've cut it off, but I left this decorative swirly bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of do, not actual blocks on the back, but I'm going to, this is going to be my center, I think. And whether I make individual large blocks and put them together, or if I just start from this piece and add, grow, you know, add on and on and on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew this to this. And I think I like it like that with the pink touching. You know, it's just, I think that just adds a little something, something. And then I'm going to do the same to the top, because I have the top border, which is also directional, right? So I'm just going to kind of Frankenstein the back. Crumb. I don't think this is considered a crumb quilt, because crumb quilts are, you know, itty bitty pieces. So I am going to basically build on this by starting with a focal point and add to it. And I will show you where we are along the way. Okay. Okay, so we're all put together, and then I just realized that I chopped off the top of my little mountains there and over there. They're plateaus now. I think I'm going to open up the seam and put, I don't know. Should I put something in there? Should I just leave it? Oh. So it's all put together. I like it. I think it's kind of cool. I'm hoping that sun isn't too, like, I'm wondering if I should have had the little point. I mean, I don't want to, I'm overthinking it, right? This is what can happen. So this is where we're at. And now, to border or not to border, that is the question. I have this white on white fabric, and hopefully you can see it's swirly. See the swirls. It's pretty cool. So I'm thinking about that on the border. Like doing a border of that all the way around. That's what I'm thinking. I think it'd be good. So we'll be back in a flash. All right, here we are. It's complete. Quilted and everything. There's a couple places I might touch up. I did the, you know, the rollover from the back. I did not quilt in this little border. I might quilt that white border. I don't know yet. You know, I mean, it can happen. And then the sun looks really cool from the back. I'll show you the back too. I just did squiggly lines. I didn't really know what to do in the mountain area. I might redo that. We'll see. It's got some wavy shapes in the waves and some flat area, you know, whatever. I had fun doing the circles. The circles were fun. That was my first one, I think, the big one. I got better, as you know, like you would. Hopefully you will. I did around the little swimmy ladies and the little thingies. This was cool. I did the eyeball. I'll show you on the back. The back, you can see the seahorse a lot better than you could see her. I even did like her eye, her nose, her lips, but for whatever reason on the back, she doesn't really show up too much. But I think it turned out cute. I have to go back and touch that up. So there's a couple areas that I would like to go in and just add a little more. But this is it. This is what it looks like. I finally finished it. And I'm loving the border. And I will show you the back. And the border, it's not bound. It doesn't have a binding. I rolled over the back. And I make a mitered edge. And I sew it like that. Clean. And I use my tailor clips. Yep. Okay. I will pause and flip it over. For you, it'll be instantaneous. Okay, I have moments probably before this falls because it's very heavy. Here's an up close of the quilting. I really like the sun. The spiral in the center. I have some strings that I have to obviously have to trim. But it turned out really cool with the little rays coming off of it. There's some circles. My wonky circles. It almost looks like a starry night sky kind of look. And there's a lot of stuff going on here. I don't know if you can see the seahorse. There's the little seahorse face. There's this little eyeball. There's this little snout. You can kind of see it. So there's, and then over here somewhere is the lady, right? Because it's backwards. I hope you can see it. I used a variegated thread. It's like blue to silver. So I wanted that. I thought it looked good on the back because yeah, with this pink. So there's this Seahorse. Oh, there she is. I guess this is her face. There's really not much to it. I don't know if that's her face. Or maybe that's her face. I don't know. Whatever. It's on there somewhere. But this is the back. That's what it looks like. All quilted. And I do have some trimming to do. But it was my first time free motion quilting. And I'm pretty pleased with it. The waves don't look as good as I thought they were going to look. But, you know, whatever. It was my first time. Ooh, there's a long string, long thread. So I have to cut that. Looks like though, there's, I don't know. There's another one. Oh. Yeah. I think the sun is my favorite. And the seahorse. I'm pretty proud of the seahorse. The rest of it may be crap. I'm not sure. We're our own worst critique, right? It was my first time. It was fun. I would say give it a go. You know, you can only get better at it, right? So the sun was the last thing I did, and I think it was probably some of the best that I did. So, you know, obviously, you know, you get better as you go along. I feel like the stitches are more uniform. Like the sky, you know, was one of the last things I did, these clouds and swirls. And the stitches seem pretty, you know, uniform to me. If you guys have done free motion quilting, you know, let me know what your technique is and how I can improve mine, because I'm new to it. I'm going to go use my hand massager now because I'm sore. So there it is. That fabric came in, and I'm like, what am I going to do with this? It's so much pink. Oh my God. And I really didn't know what I was going to do with it. I don't like pink. It's not really a pink. It's a thistle color. So it's kind of a lavendery pink, right? But still, nonetheless, pink. Pink to me. And I think it works beautifully on this quilt. And I definitely wanted it to show on the front. And I think it works, because it goes to that very, very dark color down at the bottom, which, just like the front. Yeah. So, fun. Give it a go. Please like, share, and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. And please send your pictures. Like, if you've done a panel, I want to see what you guys have done with panels before. Send me an email with pictures. And if you want me to share on my channel, I would be happy to share your work with, you know, everybody. Say, hey, this is what you can do. You can take a panel, you can do something interesting with it. Hello, beautiful people. You guys are not going to believe what I did. Okay, so I apologize for portions of this video that I just created. And I bet you guys are like, well, first off, that whole strip thing with the bubble, I put a little note in there. I had a whole video created showing what I did. I don't know. I can't find it anywhere. It's gone. So, and also the part of the video where I show you making the back, and you guys are probably like, wait a minute, you didn't, what's wrong? The back is different. Like, what happened to the back? I'm trying out a selfie stick. Well, this is what happened to the back. Bonus quilt. So what happened was, I got into it and I was really liking how the quilt was coming along. So I just turned it into another quilt. And there it is. And it has the same backing as the other one. And so there we have it. I think it turned out really nice. And I'm going to keep this one as my sofa quilt, I think. It's a nice little throw. It's a little bit, it's like an oversized throw. It's, I know y'all are probably like, wait a minute. While she was waiting on that fabric to come for the sky, she said she was working on the backing because it should be as interesting as the front, and then the back was different. What's happening here? This is what's happening. Bonus quilt. And there it is, the bonus. I'm pretty proud of it. I really like it a lot. It's super cozy. It has the same backing as the other fabric because I had like, I don't know, a bunch of yards of that. I don't even know how many yards it went on forever. I have extra. I have enough for another quilt. As you can see. And there will be a video of this quilt as well. So check it out. I will connect it somewhere on here. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already done so, please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe bell. I'm working on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I appreciate your help. You have a beautiful day. Thanks for watching.